What's going on, guys? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another Major League Baseball recap. I have not been covering the news for a couple days simply because I've been so busy with moving. Yes, this might be the final time that you see this background. I'm moving into my own place. I'm not going to have any roommates, so the heat's not going to be on all the way. I'm not going to have to worry about yelling. It's going to be perfect. 2020 is going to be our year. And also the whole Christmas thing got in the way. As you guys can see, my dad went a little bit crazy. I have hats for days, so my recaps are going to be so much better. I am repping the Blue Jays hat today because we have some Blue Jays news. My hats are falling everywhere. Hold on. Did Dellin Betances betray the Yankees? We're going to talk about that all right now. And without further ado, let's start talking baseball.
Time, are you all right?
The Miami Marlins are somewhat showing a pulse going into 2020 by signing guys like Jesus Aguilar and then their brand new dude, Francisco Cervelli. So I feel for Miami Marlins fans because they had Christian Yelich, Giancarlo Stanton, then the whole Jose Hernandez thing happened, and that not only did you lose a player, Marlins general management kind of just lost full, and Derek Jeter was getting comfortable in his new role as the GM, didn't really know what he was doing. But so far, going into next season, not too bad with Jesus Aguilar. I think they also signed Jonathan Villar and then Francisco Cervelli. Hey, I give them props. They're not totally trying to tank. The Cleveland Indians just signed Cesar Hernandez to a deal, and I am so excited about this as a Tribe fan. Let me tell you guys, we were paying Jason Kipnis almost $15 million to be a below-average baseball player. I love Jason Kipnis. When he was young, he was one of the best second basemen in the game. He had power. He was great on the field. He had some speed as well. But $15 million for a subpar baseball player, I am not a fan of that, and that's where Cesar comes into play. He's a switch hitter, so our first four hitters are going to be lefty righties with Francisco Lindor, Cesar Hernandez, Jose Ramirez, and Carlos Santana, and then Franmil Reyes as your number 5th hitter. Cesar can hit for power with like 14 to 15 home runs. He's going to steal you 15 to 20 bags. He's going to play great defense and run. I think this is a huge move. Congratulations, Indians fans. We finally have something to cheer about. Cole Calhoun is leaving the Angels, and hold on. Cole Calhoun is leaving the Angels, and he is going to the Diamondbacks, I believe, on a 1 or 2 year deal. And the person that I feel bad for is Mike Trout. It feels like Cole Calhoun and Mike Trout, they've always been best buds. They've always hit like 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. They've always been in the same outfield. It's going to be weird to see Cole Calhoun on the Diamondbacks, who are making some noise as well. They've signed Calhoun. We've seen them sign Madison Bumgarner, so they're trying to compete in that division with superstars like Ketel Marte. Yes, Ketel Marte is officially a superstar going into 2020. Eduardo Escobar broke out. They're going to have Jake Lamb back. They have other guys like Christian Walker who showed some promise. The Diamondbacks, they can make some noise as well. And now I have to go back to the Blue Jays hat because we're going to talk about the Blue Jays. All right, there we go. Oh, Canada. I am sure that Blue Jays fans are ecstatic right now. Christmas came early a few days ago for anyone that does celebrate Christmas. Hyun-Jin Ryu signed a 4-year deal worth $80 million. And in my opinion, that was a steal. Now, don't get me wrong, the Blue Jays rotation is still extremely suspect, even after signing Hyun-Jin Ryu and Tanner Roark. I don't even know who really is on their team after they traded Marcus Stroman. This does not include Ryu, but you guys can see right now, it is still going to struggle. Now, they do have a lot of young pieces. They still have Ken Giles, although the reports are saying that Ken Giles should be shipped before 2020 begins. I don't know what to tell you guys on that front. I'm not an MLB insider. I'm just reporting the news to you guys and the rumors, but Hyun-Jin Ryu, the last 2 seasons, has been one of the best pitchers in the game, and I do have to admit, in my top 50 rankings, I think if I point to this side, if you want to watch my series about the top 50 players in baseball going into next season, I did leave out Ryu, and maybe that was my mistake because the last 2 seasons, put them together, make them one single season, he's combined for a 2.21 ERA, a 184 ERA plus, which is insane, and the best part about this is he has a 3.07 FIP. That is amazing for $20 million a year. The Blue Jays definitely got a great pitcher and an even better deal, in my opinion. Now, the one thing I do not have is a White Sox hat, so unfortunately, we're not going to be able to change my hat, but I am pretty excited about talking about the White Sox. I'm an Indians fan, but I don't mind giving props to other teams when they are going to advance in the rankings, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I will be deeming the White Sox as the most improved team going into the next year, and them signing Edwin Encarnacion to a 1-year deal actually helps them in more ways than just bolstering their lineup, because Edwin Encarnacion, he had 34 home home runs last year. He was able to surpass 400 home runs for his career. I think he's now up to 414 career home runs. If he plays for another 2 or 3 seasons, that guy could pass 500 pretty easily. So that lineup is going to be better, and the thing about that is it's going to allow them to keep their top prospects down. They have Luis Robert, who is going to be kept down, I think, a little bit more to provide them with a chance to extend his service time so they don't have to pay him as much. So the thing was, Chris Bryant's in a whole debacle right now with the Cubs because they kept Chris Bryant down in the minors. That way there was something involving service time where if they kept him down in the minors, they would save money in the long run. And the White Sox, they might do the same thing with their top pick from last year and then also Luis Robert. Is that going to be relevant in 2020? I think it is going to be because the White Sox, again, I think at this point on paper, they can compete with the Cleveland Indians. They can compete with the Minnesota Twins. So now it's a three-headed monster if you want to put that in quotations, in the AL Central. It's not going to be a dumpster fire. The Royals are improved. The Tigers, they're trying as well. Hopefully the AL Central is improved because I'm tired of hearing the Indians only win because the Central sucks. You're right, but also it's improved, so stop that. So before we start talking about Dellin Betances betraying the New York Yankees, I'm not saying that he betrayed him. There was one guy specifically on Twitter that was going on a tirade that he hopes that Dellin Betances, he's a Yankees fan, and he's hoping that Betances has a 10 ERA going into next year, even though Betances was amazing for the Yankees and they could have signed him because they are the New York Yankees, and the fact that he walked, something happened. But before I do that, I do want to recap the Chicago White Sox offseason real quick because I'm going to give them an A+. We might make a video about this. When you sign Yasmani Grandal, you have Dallas Keuchel and Edwin Encarnacion, plus you're getting Michael Kopech back, and have not brought up Luis Robert. That is an A+ offseason for me. Christmas has come early the last month for White Sox fans, so I'm going to tip my cap to the management team over there. Great job. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put on a Diamondbacks hat because I forgot I had this one, and we did talk about Cole Calhoun going to the Diamondbacks, so I'm going to go ahead and switch it up right now. But the fact is, Dellin Betances going to the Mets does not really mean much in terms of betraying the Yankees fan base. The only reason why I'm bringing that up is because apparently in his Instagram post, I'll go ahead and throw it up right now, he did not thank the New York Yankees, and a lot of people are taking offense to that because he just went to the New York Mets, the little brother of the New York Yankees. That's the facts. The Mets, they will never be considered the top team in New York. I'm sorry if that offends you. That's just the matter of it. It's facts. But here's the thing, Yankees fans, you're putting the sensitive in sensitive Sallies. I don't think that it's really that deep. Dellin Betances would have been a New York Yankee if the Yankees wanted him to be. They just gave Garrett Cole $300+ million. You don't think that they're going to try and re-sign one of their best relief pitchers in history? That's how good Dellin Betances is. Let me read off his stats real quick. Betances was a 4-time All-Star. He had a 2.36 combined ERA with the New York Yankees, not just in 1 season or 2 seasons. Actually, in fact, there was a 3-year stretch where Betances' ERA was under 2. That is all-time nasty stuff. So the Yankees, the fact that they are getting offended over him not thanking the Yankees in return, I don't understand that. His entire career was based as a Yankee, and the fact that they decided to take him to arbitration and all this different stuff, if they wanted him, they could have had him. Just like my argument for the Nationals and their fan base, bashing Bryce Harper. If the Nationals wanted him, they could have kept him, but they gave him a bogus contract, and the same thing happened with the Yankees and Dellin Betances. He's now a Met because the Yankees fumbled it on his end. They did kind of recapture the magic with Garrett Cole, but I don't want to give them a pass for Betances. That was bad. The whole arbitration thing and the fact that he did walk to the neighbor city, the New York Mets, it's just kind of a black eye, a little black eye, almost like he was slapped in the eye if you're a Yankees fan, and I promise you, he did not betray anyone. The Yankees just failed him. Now, real quick, I do want to talk about what this means for the New York Mets, because there's a couple factors that go into this. One, it's a very high risk, high reward. Dellin Betances is coming back from an Achilles injury, and really the only person in sports history that has come back as the same player, if not better, was a guy named Dominic Wilkins. He was a basketball player. Kobe wasn't the same. DeMarcus Cousins probably not going to be the same. Same with Kevin Durant. But he is nasty. He is going to be dominant. In my opinion, I'm a huge believer of Dellin Betances. If Edwin Diaz can return to form, right? And then you have Seth Lugo, who was amazing last year in 2019. If you can have those 3 guys man your bullpen with Justin Wilson and maybe move Steven Matz to the bullpen to have another lefty back there, I like the Mets' chances. The Phillies are improved. The Mets are trying their best to improve as well with Rick Porcello as their 4th starter, Michael Wacha as their 5th starter. Move Steven Matz out of there, and I think that's pretty solid. You have Betances, Matz, Justin Wilson, Lugo, Diaz, Jurgis Familia, if he can return to form as well. That's a nasty bullpen, and in my opinion, not as good as the Yankees, but it rivals it. So that pretty much does it for all of the news, the signings, everything like that. There's a small rumor going around that Mookie Betts and his trade possibilities are going down by the day. The odds are not in their favor, so if you're a Red Sox fan, rejoice in that. Whereas opposed to me, the Francisco Lindor rumors continue to percolate. I just saw a rumor today on MLB.com that the Dodgers are ready for a blockbuster trade. I'm not ready though, so they're gonna have to send it to me. I'll stamp it for approval. Nothing goes past fuzzy. Nope. Nope. And then last but not least, this day in Major League Baseball history, the Boston Red Sox, they cursed themselves. The curse of the Bambino. They shipped Babe Ruth to New York Yankees for some cash. That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed the hats and everything like that. Thank you, Dad, for all the Christmas gifts. Oh, hold on. I had a lot of ham and everything last night. You guys know how Christmas goes, but if you don't, maybe you don't. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.